Hey again, we talked in the previous video how we could create function to write to file, and whatever you input from the screen he will route it to this file. Now I want to read this data from the file, so let me define a function, a new function. I will name it fun, and this fun will be read from the file. So read from the file. I don't expect to take any inputs, either if you want to give it input as a file path, whatever. If you want to give it file path that you want to read, if you already know your file path, you don't need to give it file path. So because you are reading from the file, so there's case maybe the file is not available, so make sure to use try catch. So I'm try, then catch the exception. Ex should be exception, and print ex dot message. So in that case he cannot read the file, he give me message why he cannot read the file. Also, to read, how I could read the data from the file, really easy. Just define variable, and this variable name it f in because I'm reading, then name it file reader because I'm reading, file writer writing, file reader reading. Give it the name of the file. I want to read this file, the information inside that's this file, which is test. So I give it the path of the file, and that is. Now what I will do, I will define variable c as an integer. Okay, this will help me to read the character from the file. Now let me do then while. Why do while? I will tell you why. Do, I'm trying to read the character from the f. So I say cfn dot read. That means he will take the ASCII code of the first character he added in the C. So then I want to print this character in the output. So I print c dot to car, convert it this way, c dot to car. Okay, because I want to convert it to car, print it in the output. Then I continue. When I have to stop, I will stop if the c not equal to -1. Okay, so whenever he read, he will whenever there is a data, so the c will give you value, but when it be -1, he will stop. So let me see what is going on. If maybe I did a mistake, maybe everything's okay. So read from the file. Let me just call this function directory before doing anything, and I will fix this problem later and see just if he was able, is my condition was correct for reading from the file or not, and if it is, that's good. If not, so did you see the case here? We are using do while, we did not use while. See, he was able to read all the data. Why do while? Because here I need first of all read, then check the condition. I cannot use while for this problem, it will not work. So first of all, I just say do while, so read the character, print it for me, he will read as ASCII code, I convert it to character, if it's not equal -1, continue. Whenever he done, he will say I'm done. So see how he read all the string in the file. So this is basically how to read information from the file. But I want to make my application like a bit advanced. I don't like it in this way, like read write. I want to do something like more professional. Ask user to select either like read or write. So I say, hey, print line. I say 1 for read and /n 2 for write. If you select 1 for read, 2 for write, and I do /n, so I go to the new line. Now I'm asking user to input something, so variable, I say operation, whatever he select, I say next line, read line, whatever, dot to integer, because you know this one need to be converted, and that is. Now I have the operation here ID. So let me think about the operation when. So when the operation equal 1, that's mean he is reading. If the operation is equal to, he is writing. So if it is 1, not here, if it is 1, that's mean I want to read. So just call read, the function for read from file. So if the operation equal to, that's mean he want to write to the file. Because I have multi-line, I will add between the quotation. If you want, you could add this one also between double quotation. So if he enter 2, that's mean he want to write to the file. So take this code and pass it here. Now let me see. Run. Now he will ask me, do you want to read or write? If I select read, he will go here. and call the function for read. If I select write, he will go to the right and select call write. So read or write, I will say, hey, I want to write, which is 2. He give me what text you want to write. I will say run a robot. Done. I'm done. Now if I just rerun the application again and ask him to read, he have to show me all the data. Also he show me run a robot, something new added to the file. So this is all what I want to share with you here, but I want to do some optimizing on this code. If you see variable means something you could read and write to it. But if you see OP, I just read the value from it. I never update the value of OP. So it's better to define it val. Val mean this object is read only. Read only, that means you could only read it. Because I'm using here only to read. I never update the value of it. Let me go. Could I do anything anything other val? If you see FO, did I update FO? No, I just calling function. I never update the value. So I could define it as a val. Also, FN, also I could define it as a val. And to be more professional here, after I write the data to the file, I say, hey, print data is saved and print line. Just make it more professional, so when someone save to the file, he will understand the data is saved, not you just don't see anything, just saying pop, and that is. So really good example. You will use this code a lot in Android, how to save in the file and how to read from the file. So let me suppose I want to write. I will write Ahmed Arobay, enter. He told me data is saved. So yes, here we done. Thank you for watching and see you next.